From the Eiffel Tower to the Crystal Palace to caramel corn, some of the world's most memorable technologies, architectures, and even foods have come from World Expos. Now China, where superlatives are always the norm, is about to stage the biggest and most expensive expo ever.
This is an Expo taxi. It's only part of the massive transformation of Shanghai that is taking place for this week's World Expo, an event that is just as important for Shanghai as the Olympics were for Beijing in 2008, except that with a price tag of $55 billion, it costs twice as much. The taxi is an example of the ways, big and small, that Shanghai has been changed for Expo. For example, it is clean, it is new, and amazing thing in Shanghai where none of the seatbelts ever work, it has seatbelts that work. The taxi driver even speaks a little English.
Hello?
It's all part of the rebranding of China, which started with the Beijing Olympics. Up to 100 million people are expected. And Shanghai is leaving no street unrepaved, no building unrepainted to welcome them. Indeed, it would be hard to find anything about the city that has not been touched by Expo. Even the public toilets have been redesigned so they don't smell, which for anyone who has ever been to the loo in China is about as remarkable as taxis with seatbelts. And it all seems to have happened overnight. Chinatime is always fast forward, but this is Chinatime on steroids.
The people enjoy the Expo, but I also enjoy the construction of metro system. That this Expo will be the first time in the Expo history, the public transportation oriented Expo.
And the city is not just modernizing the metro, it's renovating hearts and minds also. There is an escalator etiquette campaign on the metro. There are government banners exhorting residents not to spit, push, shout, jump the queue, or wear pajamas in public, all of which are very well-loved Shanghainese habits. The Expo site itself has the newest in new technologies. Pavilions which change shape according to the emotions of the people inside, walls made of soybeans, cars that are so smart and small that they can park themselves in the broom closet of a high-rise apartment building.
We were particularly attracted to the 2030 vision that we're able to create. We think that we do have to address the challenges of congestion and energy and emissions, and an Expo, which we call the Olympics of Technology, is a perfect forum for us to put out some thought-provoking ideas to have people think about good solutions for the future. We have to live in the future, so we think we've got a role to play in shaping that.
The theme of Expo is Better City, Better Life, but vast areas of traditional housing were knocked down to prepare for it. Some long-term residents hope the new focus on urbanization, which comes with Expo, will help prevent that in future.
For a long time, the idea was to achieve as much in as little time as possible. Naturally, a lot of decisions were made that on hindsight may not have been the best decisions for a city's development. Shanghai is a city of 20 million people. It's one of the biggest megapolises in the world. It needs a huge event of the scale of Expo to transform Shanghai. Indeed, I think that the scale of the investment will enable Shanghai to change the course of its development here on, much like Expo 70 did for Japan.
Some expos leave no mark at all on world history, and others live in the memories of those who visit them for decades. Shanghai wants to be one of the most memorable ones. For $55 billion, it had better be. I'm Patty Woldmeyer of the Financial Times in Shanghai.